What's up, party people and magic makers? Destiny here on this magical Monday. Okay, so let's talk. I want you to give me a like or double tap if you're on Insta if you've ever had this happen to you. When you are doing or working on something brand spanking new, okay, you haven't done this thing before. You've got the course and you've read about it, but you actually haven't done it yet. I want to know if you start feeling like this anxiety and this stress and this concern about, oh my God, are they going to like it? Are they going to judge me for it? What are they going to say? I want you to give me a thumbs up or a double tap if you're on Insta if that has happened to you before. Okay? So, you may be wondering right about now, Destiny, why are we talking about that when we've been talking about money for the whole month of January? Okay, first of all, whenever we're doing something brand new, our bullshit stories are going to kick up. Okay? They're just going to come up because they want to keep us safe. They don't want us to go outside of our comfort zone because the comfort zone represents the unknown, right? So they're like, no, no, no. If we can keep you where you are, then we know for sure that you'll stay alive. Okay? That's what the bullshit stories are coming up and doing. So, when you're doing something new, when you are trying something for the first time, they are literally trying to wrap their arms around you and pull you back into your comfort zone to keep you alive. Okay, you guys know this if you've been following me for a while. All right, so now what does this have to do with money? Okay, let's talk about this. When you're making money, when you are looking at how you spend your current money, anything to do with like your thoughts about money, all of your bullshit stories are going to come up from, remember what we did last week, all of the bullshit stories created when we were kids, okay? So when you were watching your mom and dad, when you were seeing what they were doing, when you were, like paying attention to all of that, it was creating a story, a book, you could say. And this book has money written as the title. So everything about money goes into this book. And your bullshit stories are like, okay, this is what we must do. We must do everything in this book. This is our how-to guide. So now when you're trying to do something different, maybe you're actually trying to save money. Maybe you are wanting to make more money. Maybe you want to invest money differently or with more education or wisely, whatever that looks like for you. Your bullshit stories are going to come up and be like, no, we don't want to do that because we might die. Now, we all know that that's not actually what happens, but it feels like it inside, right? We get that stress, we get that anxiety, sweaty palms, all of that comes up, right? And so here's the thing, you are not alone. You are not alone with this. It still happens to me. I'm just a little more, I'm just able to like go, wait a minute, I know what that is. Like I can hear it, I can see it popping up and I'm like, Or sometimes I'm like, you know what, okay, I want to listen to what my bullshit stories have to say. And sometimes you might. But how do you know to distinguish between the two? That's the trick. That's the part where you're like, hang on, I'm not too sure. So when you look at all of the stuff that you did last week, right? And thank you so much for those of you that commented. That was amazing. Please feel free to comment away and I'll respond back. For those of you that commented and you saw and you heard these things about money, now when you're trying to do something different, those are the stories, those are the bullshit stories that are like grabbing hold of you and pulling you back and going, no, 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 it's not safe for you to do this. It's not safe for you to try, right? And when I've been working on creating this money course, and I gotta tell you, like, all of my bullshit stories are popping up, like, left and right, including, like, imposter syndrome stuff, where they're like, well, who are you to do that? You're not making thousands and thousands of dollars a year. I'm like, that's not really true. It's not true. Like, that's not correct. But inside, like, I have to be very careful and track my money very well because my bullshit story is telling me that I'm not making enough. And I'm like, yes, I am. Like, here's the proof in the pudding, right? But my enough in here looks very different than what's on the spreadsheet that I have. I 100% want to make more. And I was like, I deserve to make more, right? But how do I make more and manage these bullshit stories coming up? because they're a coming. And honestly, sometimes it's sort of like, hey, by the way, maybe you shouldn't post that. And I'm like, nah, press enter, post away, right? Sometimes it feels like they're just pulling me down and like just holding on tight, and just it's a constant pull, and I'm like fighting for breath, right? And it's just like, okay, hang on and pause. Hey, look at those bullshit stories and look at what they're trying to tell you, right? Of course they want to keep us safe. Their job is to keep us alive. They were created back long time ago, and they were meant to keep us alive. And so when they pop up, I'm like, I think they're trying to tell me something. They're trying to tell me something that it's triggering me to react and either not doing it or doing it out of anger. I'm like, watch me, right? Like that spiteful anger. Or they're trying to keep me safe from something that they are aware of that I might not be. So you got to tune into your stories, and you got to figure out what they're trying to tell you and why they're trying to tell it to you, right? Some of the ones that have come up for me is like, oh my God, you're going to be judged so much. No one's going to like this program. Who are you to do a money program when you have $48,000 in credit card debt? Okay. And I'm like, excuse me, pardon me. It was much higher when I had a full-time job and I was making way more money, right? I blew that money left and right. I can't even tell you what I spent it on, which is ridiculous, right? And this was like 3 years ago, and I was like, what? Where did it all go? It did not go to pay off credit card bills. So I tell you what, opening my own business, going back and starting that again, I've paid off more of my debt than I ever have before. And that's a big thing, right? Like really being able to manage that and being like, nope, and being intentional about it. Okay. So really pay attention to what your money stories are trying to tell you. Okay. What is coming up, right? Write it all down. Write it all down. Just get all of that bullshit up and out of you so you stop thinking about it, because it's the thinking that causes the overwhelm and the anxiety and the trapping it in your brain. Get it out of yourself, right? Whatever that looks like for you. If it's writing it down in a journal, if it's dancing it out, if it's running around the block and just like screaming it out, however you need to get it up and out of you, that's what you want to do. Okay? Because once you start clearing that and getting that out of the way, anything new that you do, any money that you want to make in a new way, anything you want to try that's different will be so much easier. So much easier. And it's about how you flow. How you flow with making money, how you flow with doing this new thing, not how somebody else tells you it needs to be. It's how you flow with it. And that's the important part that I really want to convey in my course, is I want to give you these options so you can pick the one that's right for you. Because I want you to create the habits, and I want you to create the feeling that'll support you long past this course. Okay? And all of that is like, can I do it? And I'm like, yes, I can, right? Yes, I can. And the thing is, so can you, all right? So pay attention to what your BS stories are telling you, and figure out, like, what can I do to calm them down so that I can keep moving forward? Because we need more people in this world moving forward. We need you to do that thing that you are afraid of doing, and we need you to do it now. Okay? So if any of you are still sitting here on this video going, oh, there's that thing that I was supposed to do, get off your butt. I love you. Get off your butt and go do it now. Okay? Go right now. And P.S. tag me in that, because I would love to celebrate that you completed it and that you did it. I would love to do that. All right? Okay. So go do that thing. Go think about your BS stories. Get them out of your body so that you can make the money that you want to make. And stay tuned for more information about my course. It's coming along. I'm getting really excited about it, so just know it's coming, all right? And I will see you next week. All right, peace.